Hey guys, welcome back to the next part of the series where we are making this MERN stack application called Party RSVP app. So in the last two videos where we done our backend for the application, so which means we have our own API for this application, so which we can use now. So as I said in the start, we did first half of the client side, and we went to the do our backend, and now we are back to the client side again. So now I'm going to start working on authenticating and integrating our front end with the back end. Okay, so I'm actually just gonna close it, and in this client folder, and here if you open up package.json, we don't have Axios and we don't have React Router DOM, because we would need Axios for making request, and we would need React Router DOM for routes. Okay, so let's just install those things too, those two things. Yeah, Axios and React Router DOM. Okay, so let's just, once they are installed, I'll come back. I'm gonna quickly pause the video and come back. Alright guys, so we have our Axios to make our request and React Router DOM to use routes. Okay, and the next step in this package.json, which is, make sure you are in this client folder. Okay, so the very important step, we are going to do a proxy, okay, to our backend, which is localhost 5000. Please make sure you do this step, because this is very vital to make work our backend with our client side. Okay, so after saving it and doing it, then you can close this. All right, so now we're gonna go into these components and in this pages, and here I'm gonna go and create two more pages. Okay, so the first one is going to be register.js. okay, and we going to RFAC, and here this is going to return a div, and this div is going to have a class name of register. I'm gonna do the UI first, and then we will start working on the logic as well. Okay, as I always do. So, and this would have an h1, and h1 would say maybe sign up. Okay, and then under this h1 we are going to have a form, and this form is going to have inputs. So as said, inputs, not input. Okay, so they are going to be, I'm going to put type text for now, but they are going to be different ones. So we would need for one, if I think, yeah, name, email, and pass. We have 4 of them. Okay, so 4 inputs. Right, and we're going to have another input which is going to be type of submit, and the value would be maybe sign up. Maybe doesn't really matter, but I'm trying to think what I had in my original application part. If it is different, doesn't really matter. So we're gonna remove the IDs, and we also going to remove this action because we wouldn't need those things. Okay, and this is going to be name. Okay, and this is going to be email. Alright, and we're going to change the type to email, and this is going to be password, and we're going to change this to password, and this is going to be password 2. Okay, maybe, and because we need to this is just for the client side, because we need to do the confirm password. Okay, and here I'm going to do a placeholder, and the placeholder is going to be name, and we better you might see me in hurry, but I'm slightly, because we're doing very simple tasks. We already done this with the Gust, so I'm not trying to explain much here. Okay, so email, and this is going to be password again. Then here we going to say confirm password. Okay, and this shouldn't have a placeholder. I don't know why I put here. So this is our form, and under the form I'm going to have a div with class thing is question, question, and we're going to have a p tag, and this p tag is going to ask if they have an account. So we're going to say already have an account, and question, and here I'm going to put a space. I'm going to use like hack here, so just a space here, and then within this p tag we are going to do a link tag. Okay, so because we need to do a link, alright, and in this link we can say if it is sign up, we will do login, so we're gonna redirect it to login. Okay, so just do that too, and this is going to be /login. Okay, and save it. And as we are using this link tag here, so which means we need to import our link, so let's just import it. So let's import link, and this is gonna come from React Router DOM, which we just installed. Okay, so React Router DOM. Okay, save it. Alright, so as and alright, I didn't actually, so now I'm gonna go and create a new file here, login.js. Okay, so as it is going to be really simple, so what I'm going to do is Control-A, Control-C, and Control-V here. Okay, because there is going to be a lot of similar stuff. So first thing, we want to change this register to login. Okay, and I will change this class with small l, and we wouldn't need this name, and we wouldn't need this password too, of course, and the value would be sign in instead, not sign up. So sign in, and here we would say maybe register. Okay, just maybe sign up will look better. And this is going to be sign in or login, maybe login. Okay, so yep, all good, it looks okay. So now as we have these two, we need to go into app.js. Where is it? App.js. I'm doing it pretty late, by the way, really late actually. I don't want to tell you what time it is. Okay, so we need to import register, and that's going to be from, and we're gonna go in into components and into pages and then into register. Okay, and now I'm gonna go and copy it down and then change this to login. Okay, and the other thing we are going to import here is our React Router DOM. Sorry, a few things actually from React Router DOM. So I'm going to bring in browser router, and we're going to bring as router. So instead of this long word, so the other thing we need to bring in is route and also switch. Oops, sorry guys, what I'm doing. Alright, so and they are gonna come from, of course, from React Router DOM. Okay, save it. And now I'm gonna remove this home component because we're going to put as a route this component. Okay, basically all of these three components, they are going to be as route, not this nav bar, because we want nav bar on the top, we don't want as a component. Okay, so the way we do routes, we're gonna do is router and wrap pretty much everything except this state. Okay, so just this main div, wrap everything, and here we are going to do a switch. Put the switch here, and in the switch we are gonna do our route. Okay, and then exact path, and that's going to be the first one. It is going to be this slash because we want to put component home component here. So component, and that's going to be home. Okay, and I'm gonna go and close it, and then we can just copy down it twice, and this is going to be register, and here we are going to do register, and here we are going to do login and login. Right, remove these extra spaces here, save it, and hopefully it works. And I'm just gonna bring it up, and now we have these two more components. They are just the UI, by the way, so far. So let's just run our application. So oops, where am I? npm start, and very slow system, sorry. So we are on home page, and now if I do here that register, so we get sign up. If we go to of course login, we get login. So there's a problem with this style, so I might have to go back to register here, and that is because this input should have a type of button, or no, sorry, this is type of submit, but we need to give it a class name actually, and this is going to be btn. So this, and I'm just gonna go and copy this and go into login as well, and where it is, this one here, and paste it here and paste it, and hopefully it does get fixed. Okay, that's great. So if we go to why is it so because this is login, and we should get to, this should be to register. Another error, lucky I found it. Alright, so if we go to here, we can switch. So it is just the component, very static, okay, nothing fancy. So that's what we done. So next what I want to do is basically I grab the data or whatever we put in these forms, okay, so we need to grab that. So what we are going to do is basically we are going to use state, okay, use state, and I'm gonna do a const, and this, as this is a register, so we might say user, and then we may say set user, okay, and that's going to be use state, and here we need to pass initial values, okay, so it would be an excuse me, it would be an object, and which would have name set to empty, and then email is going to be just an empty value, and then password is going to be empty as well, and then we need to do password 2 as well, okay, because we would be checking the password in our client side, okay, so if they match. So this is gonna set into this, okay, if I save it, and then now it would be this user, okay, so this object should be showing here. I don't know why is it, for some reason it's use state, okay, so that's that. And now under here what I'm gonna go and do a bit of destructuring, so let's just grab name, password 2, and then I forgot email, sorry, it doesn't really matter, but I'm just keeping it like that's gonna come from user, okay. Once we have that, then we can just give these inputs values, okay, so this is going to be value, and the value is going to be name for this one, and here is going to be email, and value for this one is going to be what are your password, and password 2. Alright, so now we have these as a value. The next, I just want to remove this space. Alright, so next let's just do basically on change, or okay, so for I am putting too many spaces here, so let's just do const handle change maybe. Again, this is going to have an event, and we will just do here. Right, so we need to define this, okay, so here we will need to call set user. Alright, so we're gonna set this object to whatever we are typing in. The way we do it, basically we're gonna go and copy whatever is already in the user, and then we would grab the name and the values, okay, so we will say e.target dot name, and we're going to set it to e.target dot value. Alright, so because the name and the value is gonna be similar, so like same, so if it is name, then name, and then email is email, and then password 2, okay, so this is why we can use this instead of setting every single of them separately. So this will set up the user in here, and for now, yep, just leave it like that. And then we want to do another method here, and that would be submit maybe. Alright, and this is going to be an arrow as well, and we're gonna do because this is going to be a submit, so we want to prevent the default behavior. Okay, so prevent default default behavior of submitting, which is refreshing the page, so we don't want to do that. And then once we have done that, then what I want to do is basically I will just console log for now. So console log, actually I'm going to do an if condition here, okay, because we want to check if the password is not equal to password 2. If that's the case, then we want to console log and we want to say password don't match. For now, this would be different anyways. Password don't, maybe not this way, with passwords don't match. Okay, and if it is okay, then we're gonna do else, and in that case what we want to do is console log for now. Again, just console log, and we want to console log maybe email, no sorry, what was the name, email and password, because this is what we will be sending as a user to our backend to register a user. Okay, so I'm just mimicking here as if we are already making a request. Okay, so this is what we have now. So let's just actually, in the login we are going to do this pretty much a lot of similar things. Okay, so what I'm gonna go and do is copy all of it and go into our login and paste it here. And however, we wouldn't need this password 2, we wouldn't need this name either, so I'm gonna remove them. So get rid of them from here as well. Okay, and with that, clean up. So we wouldn't be doing any if, so I'm just gonna go and get rid of this, and all we would need is email and password. Okay, so for submit, and here we need to pass values. So value is going to be, this is email, so we will pass email. Sorry guys if my voice is low, I'm kind of sleepy, honestly speaking. So but I'm being greedy to finish this project, because I'm planning a new project soon, which is going to be even awesome. Okay, so but I want to keep it secret until I am ready. Okay, so I will surprise you guys, of course, if you have subscribed to my channel and you are receiving notification from my channel, so you would know what I'm doing the next. Okay, this is going to be an awesome project in my next one. Okay, so I'm really excited to show that. So anyways, so sorry, got distracted. All right, so by the way, just notice this should be don't have an account. Okay, so don't have an account, not already have an account. Okay, so this should sign up. Yeah, right, so we have everything in place, hopefully. So we done. Yep. So use state, we need to bring it in. This is what happens when you start talking and you get distracted from your work. Okay, so all good. So let's just check if it is working. Okay, so what has happened here, let me just, it is saying name of undefined in registered. Okay, so name of undefined, where is, why is it saying this? You know why? Because I put curly braces. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna, alright, I'm gonna copy it, go into login as well, and lucky, just quickly notice without wasting too much time. So save it and save it, and now if we go back and refresh, there we go, it should be okay. Just wanna go to login. Alright, all good. So I want to open up my console and see if we are handle change is signed but never use. I'm sorry guys, for some reason I was like on change, and here we need to do handle change. Totally forgot it. Totally forgot it. I don't know. Okay, then we need to do for all of them. Okay, and save it, and we do it in the login as well. Save, and we go back. Oops. Cookies, or no, submit is signed but value never use. Okay, another thing. Alright guys, too many things. Okay. Because I have this submit, I was meant to do on submit. This is what happens when you thinking about other stuff. So this is, I'm just gonna copy it and save it and just do it here as well. I know I'm not explaining much because I am assuming by now you guys already know this. Okay, so let's just do this. So all good. So say if we're gonna sign up, say check this one. Okay, so maybe I don't know, Idris at gmail.com, and then maybe 1 2 3 4 5 6, my favorite password. So if we just do sign up, so we are getting into this console log, which is great. Okay, so and go to here, and here we just do maybe ran Idris, and then I don't know, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, sign in. Oh, oops, sorry, that was meant to be an email. So we do ran at gmail.com, and we are getting another object, which is good. Okay, so we're going to use these to make our requests. Fantastic. Okay, so now I'm gonna go and close this for now. We are gonna come back to these because we are not done with them, but for now I'm just gonna go and close them. Alright, so next thing we're going to use another context, okay, to authenticate our application, our client side with our server side. Okay, so what we need to do is basically go into this context, okay, folder, and then here we are going to create another context. I'll name it in this folder auth context. Okay, and in this folder I'm gonna go and create exactly the same way we did previously. Okay, so auth context .js, then we need to create another one which is going to be auth reducer.js. okay, and then the final one is gonna be our auth state.js. okay, and then we go into this context, and here we are going to import, and we are importing create context, okay, with x.txt, and that's going to be from, of course, React. Alright, and then we are going to initialize it, of course, so we're going to say auth context, and which is going to be create context. okay, and then we have to export default again. We need to export our auth context and save it, and we are done with this. And next we are going to go into our state and scaffold things up. So rfac, and here we need to import our auth context which we just created. okay, and that's gonna be from auth context okay, and we also need to import our reducer, so that's auth reducer, and that's going to be from auth reducer. okay, and next we need to import, actually, yep, here we need to import use reducer. So I'm just trying to do things. So instead of returning this div here in this state, auth state, we are going to return something, auth context dot provider. okay, and then we are going to close it, and in this we are going to do props dot children. Alright, and of course we need to bring in props, and in the value for now I'm gonna do, am I whistling? Sorry. And value is going to be empty for now, and then const, and here we are going to do our initial state. okay, and initial state for now I'm just going to put user auth maybe. okay, and this is going to be null by default. okay, and the other thing I'm going to do is errors, and they are going to be null as well. And this is it for now. Just for now, we are gonna come back again. okay, this is for now, this is enough. okay, and now we are going to do const, and we are gonna use our, sorry about baby crying, guys, if you can hear. Alright, so here we're gonna do use reducer, and then we're going to pass our auth reducer here, and also initial state. okay, and this will return us state and dispatch. Alright, so once we have this, in this value, what I want to do is we need to do user auth, and this is going to be state dot user auth, user auth. okay, I'm gonna take a quick break. Actually, I'm gonna look after the baby for a few seconds. okay, sorry guys. okay, so yeah, where was I? So we state dot auth user, and I also want to do is basically this error. I just want to put it here. So errors, and they are going to be state dot errors. okay, and for now we are going to do our action there with everything here, but for now I'm just putting these here. okay, so save it. Once they are saved, So now we have to go into our app.js. Where is it? So here we need to bring in where is our guest state. So I'll probably go under this and import our auth state, and this is going to be from, of course, components, sorry, not components, context, context, and then into auth context, and then into auth state. Okay, so we're going to wrap even above this this guest state. Okay, so we're going to pretty much wrap everything. Okay, so auth state, then just cut it. Okay, so now our auth context API, auth context would be available in our application. Okay, so for now I'm going to close this, and so the first thing I want to do is basically register our user. Okay, so let's just do that. So just above this return, I'm gonna bring it down here. So here we wanna do is register user maybe. Okay, so here all we're going to do is register user, and this is going to take you know, the what I was console logging, basically that data, so the form, whatever we have in our form. Okay, so username, sorry, name, email, and password. Okay, so those things. So maybe user data, not date data. Okay, so this is going to take that, and we also need to bring in xuse. Okay, so just maybe above this I'm going to import, because we are using xuse for our requests to our backend, so that's going to be from xuse. Okay, so if you remember from our backend videos, when we were using Postman, so when we were making the request, we were doing in the header we were doing content type, and then we were putting application/json. so this is what we need to do here as well. Okay, so here I'm gonna go and create a folder called variable called config, and in this config we are going to do is header, this is going to be an object, and here we are going to do content type, content type, and we are going to set it to application/json. okay, alright, so we have this, and next we are going to do a try catch here, because xuse returns a promise. Okay, so we need to do maybe response, or just res should be enough actually. So we're going to await here, and we are gonna do a post request. Okay, so this is going to be a post request. So what I'm thinking, xuse dot post, and this is going to be to an endpoint register, which is our backend, if you remember, to register our user. And just because we have that proxy, so we don't have to do localhost 5000. okay, so instead we can just do /. so this is why that was very important to do it. Okay, so that's this, and next we need to pass our form data or user data, whatever it is, user data, and then here I'm going to put config as well. So once it hits that, it's gonna get us response, and so based on response we might get error as well. So but if we get response back, then what we want to do is dispatch. Okay, and now I need to go to types and put some types in. Okay, so the first one would be export. Actually I'm gonna do all of them together. So we are going to have, for register and login, we are going to have maybe success register and success register, and this is going to be this success register. Then I'm gonna go and copy paste it down, and I'll change this to login. Okay, and then copy paste it down twice, and then we will change to fail fail login and fail register. What I'm doing. Okay, fail login, and maybe this to fail register. Register. Okay, save it, and now we're going to go into our state, and above here we are going to import those types, and they are gonna come from, of course, slash types. Is it alright, and we need to do, and the first one was success register, and then we need to do success login, fail register, and fail login. Okay, and we're going to save them. Of course we're going to get some error. What is this? Okay, don't worry about that. So in the dispatch we are going to do a type, and the type is going to be success register, of course. So if we have successful registration, and the payload is going to be our response. Okay, so response dot data, and if we catch an error, then we want to do a dispatch here, and in this dispatch we're going to do a type, and the type is going to be fail register. Okay, and the payload is going to be error dot I believe is error dot response thing. Yes, response dot data. Okay, and save it. So there's so many extra spaces here, so save them. Right, so this is our register user action. Okay, so now I'm gonna go and copy this and paste it down, because now we're going to do a login, and this is going to be really similar. So we're going to change this to login, not, and this is going to be to auth, sorry. So auth, because if you remember we are hitting auth, and this will be a post request. So the same thing, user, and exactly the same thing apart from this success register, and we will say success login, and fail register to fail login. Okay, we could use the same type, but I'm just putting an extra type here. Alright, so that's our login and that's our register, and yeah, that's for now. And what we want to do is we want to do register user here, and we also want to do login user, so we can use it later. So now we have to go to, I'm actually gonna copy these types and go into auth reducer and paste it here. Okay, and here we are going to do export default, and we are going to export this function here. Right, and instead of destructuring here, this time I'm going to do a slightly different, and I'm gonna do action actually. Okay, so, and again we're going to do a switch statement, and then we will be evaluating on action dot type. Okay, and want to do a default one, and for the default what we want to return is basically just the state. Alright, and then we want to do the first case, and the case is going to be success register, and also for the case success login, because they are going to do this exactly the same thing. Okay, so what we want to do here, I'll do the return first, and then I'll show you one more thing. So if you remember, in our state what we have is this user auth. Okay, we want to set this user auth. Of course we're going to copy our state, and then we're going to set user auth to true. Alright, and we're going to set our errors to null, just in case if they have anything. Okay, and the other thing which we're going to do here is, because when we are successfully registered or logged in, we are getting our token back. So the token will be sent in our payload. Okay, so what we want to do is basically on our local storage we want to do a set item. Okay, and we want to set an item called token. Alright, and which would be our action dot payload, because we will be sending the token payload, and then that would have token. Okay, so this will set our token to the local storage. Alright, okay, and so that's with that done. I'm sorry, I'm thinking it's really late. Okay, so now we have to do is basically another case, and the next case would be login, fail login, or fail the other case is fail register. Okay, in these two cases what we want to do is basically we want to return a copy of state with 3 dot, not 2, and then in here we want to set user auth to null. Okay, and then we want to set error to action.payload, because they will be sent into the payload. Okay, because if you go back to our, so if these are the cases, then we would have our errors. Okay, so in both login and register. All right, so now we have these actions and they all set to go. So what we have to do is basically we have what is this error, because I forgot to mark this async. Okay, so this should be async, and also where is it, login, and this one as well, because we can't do this await without async. Okay, so hopefully, yeah, there we go. So sorry about this. So now we have these two actions. So now we can go back to our where is it, component, and then pages, and then I'm gonna go into registered first. Okay, and we need to bring in our use context hook, right? And then we're gonna do, and also sorry, before I do this, I'm gonna bring in our auth context, and that's going to be from into context, then into auth context, and then into auth context file.js. Pretty long. Okay, so and now we can do is const, and we need to get I think I called it register user. Let me just double check, I keep forgetting. So yeah, register user, and I'd rather actually copy it, and then user auth. Right, so user auth and also errors. Okay, and we are going to grab these from, going to use context and from our auth context. Okay, so save it. Now we have these. Just gonna complain about them because we have them but we are not using them, so let's just use them. Okay, so we have this register user, so instead of doing this login, we want to use our register user. Okay, so register user, and then we are sending this user data. Okay, so once this happens, this is going to make a request to our backend. Okay, and the auth user, actually I'll just leave it for now. I'll do the errors first actually. So for the errors here, we are gonna go under here, and I'm gonna see if errors is not equal to null, because initially it is null, and if there are some errors, then we want to do this. Okay, and then we will say and. Okay, if that's not the case, then we want to return a button. Okay, so maybe button with class. Oops, I don't know why this happens. Okay, so button, and we'll just close it, and this would have a class name, and the class name would be danger. Alright, and in this button we are going to do a span tag. Okay, so span. Okay, and this will have just an X. Okay, so anything are we missing here? Hopefully not. So a button with this, and yes, we need to do another condition here. So for this button's value, we need to do the condition. So we're going to check if this errors has this MSG. So if this is going to be an object, so if this has an MSG directly, so then we want to do error start MSG. So otherwise we're going to I will explain why I'm doing this. Okay, so we're gonna do errors and then error, and we're gonna grab the first one, so 0, and we're gonna grab the message of the first one. Okay, MSG. So this MSG is if you remember from our backend, this is just the normal message we are sending back with JSON. Okay, and however this one here we are getting an array of error, and this is with the package we used, express validator. Okay, so let me just actually quickly show you, I don't want to make you confused. So let's just say if we go to one of the route, maybe auth route. Okay, we are in this backend now. So see here we are sending against this in this object where we have error, we are doing an error dot array, which means we will be getting an array back. Okay, whereas we are sending this like this. Okay, just an object which has MSG and this, alright, just the text. Okay, so this is what I'm doing here there. So the only reason, and I'm grabbing the first one because I don't want to put all of them together and make it even messy. Okay, so it's already messy, this just this button thing. Okay, so with this done, I'm gonna go and copy this, and I'm gonna go into login. Let me just close this, and then exactly the same thing. It's gonna complain about error and stuff because we don't have them yet. So I'll just probably go up here and copy paste. And what else? Save it, and instead of register user we are going to have a login user and error, and should use context because we don't have it, so we're going to get use context. Okay, so all the complaints gone away. So let's go back to the close. I have so many things open, I'm sorry guys. Alright, so we are in registered user.js. I'm sorry. Okay, so what I'm doing here, so we have this done. Okay, so next let's just, I think I'm done with this, apart from another thing which is going to be, I'll do it that later. Okay, and with this login, and here instead of the console.log I want to do login user. Was it login user? I'm just double checking. Login user, yes. Okay, so login user, and okay, let's just test it. Ignore these, actually not, let me just check what is it. So login user auth is assigned but never, okay, user auth, yeah, don't worry about that, I'm going to fix it. So sign up. So what I'm gonna go and do, maybe Smith. Okay, and Smith at gmail.com. This is going to be new user. Okay, and here we are going to do 1 2 3 4 5. I'm doing on purpose 1 2 3 4. So the first error we are gonna get back is password don't match, and this is going to be in console because we still don't have it fixed for this. Okay, so we are getting a console. So so if they do match, we are gonna get an error from our express validator because we are putting 5 instead of 6. So let's just test that. Okay, what happened there? So can't read property 0 of undefined. Okay, let me just go back what I've done here. So, and that is because I think I forgot to run our backend. Okay, so let's just do cd into server and then do npm run server. I should have done actually concurrently thing, because that would, in that way we would have one command and then we would be running both client and server. So but I'll do it later anyways. So let's just retry it. So save it and refresh. So let's just do smith at gmail.com, and I want to do 1 2 3 on purpose because right, why is it still saying this? So we are still getting the error because I have to restart my thing. Let me just pause the video and fix it. Sorry about that, guys. I just realized for some reason I put my proxy in here, which I was supposed to put it just under this. Okay, so just make sure you do the same thing. I'm sorry about this. So this is why it was just not sending a request to 5,000, instead it was sending a request to 3,000. Okay, I was just wondering why that was happening. So anyways, luckily I found out what was happening. Okay, so please go back to, if you've done the same mistake just because you're following me, please make sure you put the proxy just here, okay, at the end here, okay, and the last one, okay, not in any of these, okay, outside. Alright, so do that, and now I'm gonna go ahead and close it, and then you might have to restart your backend and front end as well. Okay, so once this is done, then we go and test our errors thing. So as I was doing previously, so smith and then smith at gmail.com, and then I'm gonna do 1 2 3 and 1 2 3 on purpose because I want to get an error from our express validator, which would say at least provide 6 characters or long password. So there we go, we are getting this. So if we give a wrong email, say, and then we're gonna provide a valid email, so first it's gonna look into this because we are putting at 01. Okay, then if it is fixed, then it's gonna give us the second one. Okay, and the other thing, so if we successfully log in, okay, say 456 and then 456, one thing which I think I already showed, because we're gonna get, if the password don't match, then we're gonna get error in the console. And if everything is okay and we sign up, we gonna get, of course, our token, which is in application, and then here we have our token. Okay, so let's just do the same user because it's already registered now, it is in database. So if we do it again, it's gonna say user already exists, and this error is coming from our message, okay, normal message, JSON message, and the one before it was coming from our express validator. Okay, so now let's just go to login, and if we say I want to clear, I will fix it later. Okay, so let me just refresh to get rid of it. So if we do some, I don't know, random .com, and then so we would get invalid credentials, so because we are not giving valid credentials. So with that done, next what I want to do basically, instead of getting our this password don't match in console, we want to set into, we should be able to set into our errors in our state. Okay, so let's just create a method or a action here. I'll just call it set error. Okay, and this would take error. Alright, and this is going to be in error function, then dispatch, and we'll here we will bring in another type, and we go maybe copy this down. I'll change this to maybe set underscore error. Okay, save it, and then we go here and bring it set error, and then where is it, here we will just say type is going to be set error, and if that's the case, then the payload is going to be error, which is going to be our message. Okay, so let's just do this. So just below this we will do set error. Okay, and if that's the case, then we go in our, where is our auth reducer, and we want to do a case here. The case is going to be, actually let me bring it in. Sorry guys, I know this video is already too long, but I'm trying to finish one half, and then we will do the remaining half, and hopefully we will finish the application in the next video. Okay, so error, set error, and then where is it, case set error. Alright, so next we want to return here copy of state, and we want to set errors to payload, action.payload, sorry, action.payload. Okay, and save it, and now we have this, so we will bring it in here, and we will do set error. Okay, and instead of this console log, we will say set error, and here we will pass an object as we did in the backend, so it doesn't give us another error. So this will be msg set to this. Okay, so hopefully if I go back to login now, and we just do some random, and I don't know, this okay, and we do this password don't match. Okay, so it is working fine. The next I want to clear these when we click this X or cross, okay, and plus when we type in here, we want to clear this. Okay, so we want to get rid of this error, so we don't want to keep it all the time here. Okay, so let's just do that. Alright, so to do this we have to have another basically action. Okay, so I'll just copy this, because we wouldn't be getting anything. Instead this is going to be what am I doing? so here we can actually, to clear the error, we can just do the clear error. Okay, so where is our types? Here, I will just copy it down. I should have done previously, but clear error, save it, and then we're gonna go into our state again, and then to clear. Okay, save it, and we'll pause, change this to clear, and here we will say clear error. The payload would be nothing because we are not passing anything, and we have to go into our authored user, and here the case, if the case is clear error, which we still don't have, so let me just do clear error. If that's the case, then we want to return we're going to set our errors back to null. Okay, so we don't want to get that, and did I pass? No, so we need to get it here, clear error, save it, and then we go back to register, and then we need to get the clear error. Okay, clear, what's it, error or errors? Error, and yes, error, sorry guys. Alright, so where do I want to call this? And the first thing I want to call it on this button, which is this X, and here we're going to do on click. Okay, and we're going to do an inline. Okay, and here we will call clear error and save it. And the other thing, as soon as we start typing in the form, I want to clear it, so clear here. And also when we don't have an error, as when we successfully submit, and we want to call the clear error just in case. Okay, so with that done, let me just go to login as well and do the same thing. So we're gonna go and grab clear error. Alright, and exactly the same thing, sorry, on click, that's going to be in inline, and we want to do a clear error and save it, and here, and maybe also here as well. Okay, so on submit on the, so as soon as we password don't match, good. And let's say if we do just wanna, okay, I want 1 2 3 1 2 3, yep, alright, cool. And if that's the case, cool, it's all working fine, so good. And if we do this at, I'm just double checking everything, if everything is working okay, so that's okay, good. All right, now even if we as we have a Smith, okay, which is gmail.com, and then if we do 1 2 3 4 5 6, and if we do login, even though it is successful, we are getting our token back. Let me just make sure. So we are getting the token back, but nothing is happening. So what we want to do is basically, when we are successfully logged in or registered, we want to redirect to home page. Okay, so let me just do that quickly, and after this we will finish this video, because it's been really long video, but as I said, I'm being greedy and I'm trying to finish up the project. Okay, so because there have been a lot of videos already, so, and this is all in this, from this video, this is a lot of repetition as well, so we have already covered all of this stuff basically, so just we are repeating. Okay, so all of this context thing and everything. Okay, so when we are successfully logged in, what I want to do is basically redirect. Okay, so in this, I'm gonna go and close these. So to do this, we are going to use a hook called use effect. Okay, and now we're gonna go maybe up here, and here we're going to use effect, which takes in a call inline function. Okay, and here we're going to do an if condition, and now we're going to check if this user auth is true. Okay, so user auth, if that's the case, then we want to redirect. Okay, so we want to bring in props, because in React the way we redirect is basically props dot history dot push, and where we want to redirect is basically just to the slash, which is home page. Okay, and as we are using use effect, and we need to pass dependencies. Okay, so here I'm gonna go pass an array of user auth and also props dot history, because these two are dependencies for this use effect. Okay, so if that's the case, then we're gonna get redirected to home page. Okay, so now I'm gonna go and copy this and paste in here for login as well, and we want to bring in use effect here as well. So use effect, so very simple. We need to do props as well, sorry. So there we go, so simple as that. Now if I go to, I'm not going to sign up another user because we have one, so instead I'm gonna go and use Smith as a user, so gmail.com, and then password is 1 2 3 4 5 6. So if we click now, we should get redirected to the main application. Okay, so even though here we are still getting hello Dries, not Smith or Sam, whatever it is, and we are not getting those guests for Sam or Smith, I'm sorry. So this is what we're going to do in the next video. So we should have the user who is logged in, the guest for that user. Okay, so he wouldn't be able to see anyone's actually else. So this is what we're going to do in the next video, and hopefully that would be the last video of the project, unless I decided, or you make me to decide to deploy the application to the Heroku. Alright, so thank you so much guys if you are still watching this. I know this, I'm making really long videos, but as I said in the start, if I'm really slow for you guys, please feel free to change the playback speed. But I said this thing in the start, so I knew, because I was going to be slower, because I know a lot of guys on the YouTube and other video makers and coders, they are really fast, but I'm kind of slow. I'm still learning. Anyways, I'm learning to talk and type and code. Okay, so anyways, thank you guys, thank you so much for watching this. And if you do like the project, if you do like the videos, please remember to like and share with your friends. And I'm pretty sure you, all of you, whoever is watching to this far, has subscribed. Okay, so if you haven't, please do. Okay, so thank you so much. And by the way, I'm supposed to announce this in the last video, but I'm still telling you, I'll be coming up with another awesome project. Okay, so stay tuned. And yes, we still have one more video to go, so I'll see you in the next part. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.